Yo, what's up guys, welcome back, episode 3 of the Cheap Tech 3 series for just like randomly hunting things and also doing some PvP. So today we're going to be taking a look at the little Proteus here, and man, this feels like the Tech 3 ship that CCP forgot, right? It's literally its best form right now, in my opinion, is just a long range brick tank tackler. So yeah, it's been a bit rough using this after the Loki and the Tengu, and definitely with like having turrets on, it's a lot more engaging in the way you actually fly it. So there's more manual piloting, you could say, especially in the clips coming up, which we did have some interesting issues to deal with, let's say. But let's take a look at the fit. So guys, we went for the classic dual rep. I really wanted to go plate, but man, the align time just goes like ridiculously long, and it already is like massive, right? Let's turn the Microwarpdrive off. So the align time's still just under 7 seconds. That's like pretty long. But having a plate on, it just like massively increases that. So we'll just quickly go over the fit. It's pretty much the same as usual. Fusion reactor for a little bit of cap and that additional power output. Localized injectors to help with the Microwarpdrive capacitor consumption. That's really handy on this ship actually for the cap and stuff. Hybrid encoding platform. So I went for the full turret damage build on this. I think in my opinion, it's really good. We'll get the extra high slot as well with this sub. If we use the drone platform, we'll lose a high slot. We'll lose all the DPS bonus from with turrets, but we do get tracking speed bonuses, which is alright. And obviously we get the drone damage. But I think like turrets is the way forward. DPS itself isn't that great. I mean, we haven't got any DPS mods on per se, so we're a pretty tanky boy really, and we actually need to be when we're fighting like 800-900 DPS ISHTARs and stuff. So that's all good there. Usual in the rigs, I went for the cap control circuit just at the end because it just pushes with stable, and with the Republic fleet cap, that'll help keep we'll cap up against any newts and things like that. So that's pretty cool. But feel free. I think this is like a flex sort of rig, you could call it. And the 2 nano pumps just to get them bigger reps off, just like the Stabber fleet issue or the Demos, really nice. So we've got the Ancillary rep and the T2 medium rep, so obviously keeping it T2, right? Energized membrane, and that helps with the reactive bonuses, moving the resistance around and stuff. Damage control, obviously, I think damage control is really needed on especially like a low buffer dual rep fit, so if you were feeling a bit more ballsy, you could switch out for a mag stab and get some more damage, I could say. So the mids was another one. Originally, I was looking at like loads of fits when I was doing the research for this, and a lot of them just had like 3 slots, and I really wanted that web, right? Catching ratters and stuff, especially these like 100mm vexers and stuff, which you're going to be seeing. It was like I wouldn't have been able to keep up with them other than that. And we did go long points, and that's just because when you land on the complex, obviously you'll get decloaked or whatnot, and you might have like a 20-30 kilometer like overheated sprint to do to get to them. And I think instead of the scram, right, because we're not using the bonus sub for the scram, like I think a warp disruptor and for this job we're doing right now is ideal. But for general PvP, I would probably definitely use a scram, right? It's basically just the demos at the end of the day with a cloak. Yeah, so that's pretty much the laws. So we've got the web, the disruptor, cheap the quad lift restrained Microwarpdrive, and the battery, right? In the tops, we've got the Neutron Blaster 2, so they're the big boy blasters, the hardest hitting ones you can fit on for the Galante stuff. That gives a pretty decent DPS, and that's with Void, I believe, yeah. So Void's pretty nice with this. Don't have to worry too much about tracking with the web. You can just keep a nice little range there. The Optimal's quite nice with the T2 ammo, so we've got like 3.5, well just under 3.5. So we're going to be getting some nice hits, and we can go all the way to like past 10k. Still get some decent damage. And the Covert Ops clone device and the probe launcher, which will actually use loads on the Proteus. I felt like I was a little bit more patient with me kills compared to just like running in and just like balls to the wall DPS with the hams and stuff like the Loki and Tengu. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think we took anything else. I believe this takes a 602 implant maybe, or a 601. But I'll put that in the fit as we go. But yeah, let's jump into some clips. Alrighty guys, so this first clip's going to highlight what I was talking about with the Warp Disruptor. Having that extra range is really cool. I mean, in an ideal world, I would be using the Caldari Navy or something just for that mad extra range. But obviously keeping it cheaper using the T2. And I do think a lot of the time, I know like probably most of these ships are bots and things, like the Vexors especially coming up. It's probably a better choice to use that. Obviously, if we're going normal PvP, I would definitely recommend a Scram though. But yeah, it really helps just getting the initial catch on these guys, right? Even a few seconds if they're aligning with the Microwarpdrives on, or if they're 100mm and they're aligning out with it, you've got plenty of time to get a point on them. So there you go, that one goes. These ISHTARs, where I was down south, they were all armor tanked, so they died like super easy, apart from the last one, which I'll keep to the end because, man, it was epically tanked, like, and because we're like thermal kinetic locked, fighting shield ISHTARs isn't ideal for the resist profile or for our damage profile as well, because we've got super high kinetic resistances, right? So it's like, and when we're rocking like less than 800 DPS, it's pretty sucky. So there's the ISHTAR down. So landed on this Vexor, we can see he's like either Microwarpdrive fit or 100mm. Spoiler alert, he was 100mm. So if you can notice where I'm double clicking, we're not actually going straight for him because that's going to take longer to catch up with him, or also known as like self-feathering, which you don't want to do. So we're just intercepting his orbit there. You can see as I'm double clicking to the left and then to the left more. This is like going to be a common thing with a Proteus. It may have just been the space I was in where it was like 100mm Vexors quite a lot, but with the turrets especially, you've got to really watch your like tracking and like your transversal speeds and stuff. So yeah, we're just trying to get parallel right now. We do end up getting the web on, but he's still pretty quick. Luckily, we've got like a really good range with a void still, like just under 10k. We do super like DPS, right? Super good DPS. And he pops. But yeah, and there's another one. Alright, so this was the first Vexor I actually landed on. That was 100mm, sorry. I was like quite baffled as to why he was going so fast actually. But this will highlight a little bit more about the double clicking in the direction of where he is and stuff, rather than approaching. I mean, I did do that a little bit as well, but obviously when you realise. There's also a cool trick as well, just to save yourself overshooting the guy, because I had me Microwarpdrive on for a little bit longer than necessary. Yeah, just getting the drones out as well, guys. A little bit of DPS just before we do actually start. I think we get like 80 DPS on the drone, so it's something, you know, rather than nothing. But you can see it's like intercepting the orbit there. We're catching up quite nicely. And because we were going to overshoot, because I was like heating the Microwarpdrive, I switched the camera like 180, double clicked in space. And if you don't know, that actually slows your ship down like mega fast, like much faster than just stopping, right? So that's a cool little trick there. And then we just got aligned up. So we've got some nice big transversal, like 0 transversal hits there pretty much. And boom. Alright guys, what I have been finding quite a lot, just obviously because I've been doing more of this week than I have done like in recent months or whatever, that there is a lot of times where the ratting ships, maybe they'll be next door to the home system or something where they haven't got anywhere to dock up. So they'll start bouncing between bookmarks and stuff, you know. So we scanned this ISHTAR down and he wasn't there, so I was a bit disappointed. And then we started scanning again. So basically all he's done, he's got like 3 or 4 bookmarks or whatnot and he's bouncing between them. And we're quite lucky that as we started scanning again and decloaked herself, he actually landed right on top of us, so sad face for him. So it's always good to be like patient, but yeah, definitely check for like citadels and stuff, and if there's none in system, then there's a good chance the rat that you're looking for is probably just like safed up somewhere, right? And 9 times out of 10, I'd probably say more than that, 9.9 times out of 10, they won't have a cloak on or something, so you can't actually catch them as long as you just save the bookmarks as you go around, you know, and eventually they'll just land on you. So yeah, this guy got dunked on, unfortunately for him. So we got him and we got his pod, sent him back to Jitter or wherever he came from, a couple of doors over or whatnot. So yeah, that was a good win there. Bit of patience required, and yeah, that was an enjoyable kill. Alright, this was the first ISHTAR fight we had as I took the Proteus out, and my god, this fight went on so long. I've actually sped it up like 60% because it's absolutely insane. And when I looked at this guy, he actually had like just a super tank with an extra large shield booster, and I just couldn't break him. His kinetic resistance was too high, and that's one of the downfalls when you're fighting the shield ISHTARs. It was just absolutely insane as I tried to get him. But yeah, you'll see I was still chunking them a little bit. I mean, I had the EC drones out right now for some reason instead of the thermals. I think I put them away and put the thermals out, and that did like tip the DPS a little bit. But I mean, man, these drones were getting some really big wrecking shots on us, and I was, yeah, the buffer wasn't great. I didn't go into structure or anything. I was still being a little bit safe, right? But yeah, just didn't have the DPS to kill him, unfortunately. Even heated, so that's like what, 785, whatever it was, 755. So it's still like a ton of DPS, but not enough. And yeah, these ISHTAR, these shield ones are just absolutely insane. So versus the Tengu and obviously the Proteus, that's probably the worst fight you can get with the high kinetic resistance on the shields and stuff. But yeah, it's absolutely nuts. In the end, we decided just to bail from the fight. I wasn't going to break him. I was thinking about taking his drones out and then trying to kill him, but again, if we couldn't break his tank, then there was no point. And ultimately, like the way my tank was going at the end, I thought, bollocks, you know, I'm probably going to die here first, so let's just warp out. And as always, guys, we're going to end this on some PvP, well, a PvP clip. That's all I really got. We just jumped into the system with the Sentinel coming through. I wasn't sure if he was actually going to engage, but we decided to just go for the ram, you know, and he actually engaged first, which is pretty nice. Not sure if he thought I was like a blops drop fit or something like that, you know, but it was pretty ballsy of a Sentinel to come after the Proteus, in my opinion. But yeah, we got the web on, and I think if I didn't have the web, he probably would have killed us because he was like the classic dual prop fit. So the web really helped a lot there. I was glad I had that extra slot for it. But yeah, it's the Sentinel, you know, you couldn't really chew through me tank that much, but Sentinel's such a good ship, guys. We're definitely going to be doing some of that. I've had a request off the YouTube comments for that, so watch out for it. Especially like versus like Hecates and things, so I've been building a fit for it with a medium Neut because that's pretty much the only way to deal with them in the Sentinels, you know. It's the really good ships. So yeah, sadly this guy, he couldn't get away even with his dual prop there. We had the heated web on at the end, and obviously the long point as well, so he couldn't get away. Another good reason to use the long point, right? But yeah, it was a little good fight. It's the only PvP one we got. I made it all the way back to ISHTAR, you know, with a Proteus, so we didn't really get too many fun PvP fights, I should say. And that about wraps up for the cheap Tech 3 Proteus, guys. Next up, we're going to be doing the Legion, which I hope is going to be a lot more fun because, you know, heavy assault missiles always nice for ganking. The Proteus was definitely, it felt like a slog to use. I think I mentioned that at the start of the video, but man, yeah, we still had some fun. Most of those clips, apart from the tank ISHTAR one, was all done in one night. And I've got like another 10 clips, which, you know, I'm not going to, again, show you just like killing 10 ISHTARs because that's not really fun or anything. Just highlighted the ones where had some useful information, you know, about the intercepting and the reverse double clicking and stuff. So I might actually do a video on that just by itself because if you're an interceptor pilot or something, that's a really handy trick to do. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Fit's going to be in the description, all that sort of stuff. Join Discord, you know, we'll get some discussions going. I've had a few new people popping in there the last couple of days, which has been fun. And we'll catch you in the Legion video.